Am I the asshole for telling my half-sister I won't name a baby after her? My husband and I have 3 children together. Our youngest was born this summer. We have always named our kids after people by not using their direct name. Our oldest girl is Jamie after my brother James, our middle daughter is Cleo after my sister Chloe, and our youngest son is Devon after my husband's best friend Divine. We spoke to each person we honored prior to finalizing the name. My siblings were so happy and my husband's best friend was over the moon. We also never publicly said, oh, we named them after these people. We would just announce the names and leave it there. After my 3rd child was born, my half-sister asked me if I would name our next child after her. I told her I would not. She asked if I would name any child I have after her, and my answer was the same, no. She was upset about this. This angered my mom, who said it was clear my kids were named after people and I shouldn't just honor 2 siblings and not honor all 3. I replied that it should be mine and my husband's choice what we name our children and who we name them after. Mom said I looked my baby sister in the face and crushed her heart and soul and told her that she is not a real sibling and only full siblings are worthy of being honored. She said I had treated a child like shit and I should have offered to let her help pick a name or something to smooth things over. But instead I said no and acted like her feelings didn't matter. My mom also had some things to say to my husband and he ignored her. He told me about it and I told her to keep my husband out of it. She said I can take the role of sole asshole. Though she said my siblings were close since they didn't care about our half-sister feeling upset either, according to mom. Am I the asshole? There was a nicer way to deliver the news to your half-sister. She is only 12. You can name your kids whatever you want, of course, but don't be a dick to a child. You're the asshole for that. Not the asshole. As long as you're not isolating your half-sister out, plus I understand it may be a name that is not to your or your husband's liking. But you will be TA, if you name your child Chile. Geez, your sister half whatever is only 12, you could have been kinder towards her. You don't have to name a child after her, but you also could have had a bit of tact. You're the asshole. Not for not naming your next child after your sister, but for the way you handled it. She's 12 years old. Show a little grace. Yes, like what you did is fine on paper and if is absolutely your choice and her reaction is shitty. But at the same time, come the fuck on. You name your first child after one of your siblings and your second child after another sibling, and then you are really surprised when your 3rd sibling is upset that she was excluded from the trend? You are in the right, but you just generally seem like a shitty person. Like you were right, but I would not want to be your friend. I am with your mom on this. You basically singles your SS out of the family. I would be pissed at you and husband if I was your mom. You seem like you dislike your half-sister and it seems like you really don't care at all about her feelings, so you're the asshole. You seem like you suck. Why the necessity of being cruel in your response to your sister, a young girl? Is there a reason for a grown woman to behave in such a manner? It would help if you explained why you approached this as you did. You are not the asshole for not wanting to name a future child after your sister. But without further context, you sure seem like a shithole of a human being for purposely being childish to a child. Utter not for the name before your demeanor, an attitude towards your younger sibling. Info: why do you hate your half-sister? You're the asshole. Judging by the way you treat your sister, you sound like a horrible parent. I predict your kids will hate you one day. So much being left out here, I don't feel like I can even give a judgment. Your mom accused you of not caring for your sister because she isn't a full sister, and you didn't care enough to deny it. So is it true? Also, what things did your mom even say to your husband? Obviously it's ultimately your right to pick your children's names, but you're not giving the reasons you wouldn't want to honor your half-sister besides biology, and as someone with only half-siblings I personally don't get it. Is the reason for the no because you don't like your sister? Or because you don't like her name? Don't see a way to rearrange it. Her name is Chili and all you could come with was leech. I think the missing context matters here. You could have been gentler with the child though. Info: is there a reason you've never made an effort to be in your sister's life? You keep responding that you're not close, but you don't say why. You're the asshole for the way you worded it. You are an adult and you broke the heart of the child, it sounds like, on purpose. That is your sister. And she's 12 years old. I hope she's got better family than you and your siblings. You guys are awful. You're the asshole for being tactless about the issue, when your sister wasn't doing anything malicious. You're the asshole for how you handled the conversation with your preteen half-sister. You don't have to name a child of yours after her, but there was no reason to be so blunt. She likely already feels left out because of the half part, and the age gap. You could have deflected in a million ways. Instead, you pretty much said to her face that she doesn't matter to you. You're the asshole. Yeah, you can name your kids after whoever you want, but she's 12. You could have handled it better. You owe her an apology. Yes, except your little sister. Yes, it's up to you and your husband to name your kids whatever you want. But I can understand why your half-sister thought that. She's 12. From some of the stuff you said, I'm assuming you aren't close and that your mom pushes you to include her and you don't like that. I could be wrong, but there's a million of these stories. Don't blame your sister, she's a kid. You could have been nicer. You're the asshole. Yes, naming your children is solely up to you and husband. But you say you are the parent of 3 children. So I imagine you have seen your own children hurt by the words and actions of others. Every one of those experiences cut me to the core, knowing they were so hurt. And then helping them get through it and see themselves as valid. Yet you have no problem hurting the feelings of a 12 years old. For that, you're the asshole. You're the asshole. Why is it so difficult for adults to treat children decently? Name your kids whatever you want, obviously. But it was completely unnecessary and harsh to respond that way to a literal child asking to be included. You can be honest without being an asshole, you can deflect questions without outright giving answers or lying. I really hope you're more empathetic and understanding with your own children than you are with your sister. You're the asshole for not what your decision is but how you handled it. You are 16 years older than your half-sister. You have 2 full siblings, she only has you 3 half-siblings. Sounds like she might think more of you than you do of her. She is a 12-year-old child, not your child but a child nonetheless. Based on your other responses, it also sounds like some resentment on your part towards your mom and the new marriage child. Show some grace, use some tact. Your own kids will learn from watching you. There's an element of assholery there. You could have been kinder about it, she's only a kid herself, after all. I think the question here is not if you are TA, but, how is your relationship with your sisters? Do you resent her? Is hers an horrible name? Do you love her, or like her even? You don't need to say yes to her or lie, but being kind should be a giving. She is a child and you allegedly an adult. Wasn't there a nice way, mixed with emotional IQ, to tell her no? You're the asshole. It wouldn't break your queen's crown to just say something like thank you for suggesting that, I'll think about it. But now it's too soon to worry about that. Not the asshole for naming your children after whoever you like. TA for the delivery, but I don't understand, is this a hypothetical question or do you intend to have a 4th child at some point? Because if not, that was an easy way to bow out of the conversion. You sound mean. You have 3 children. You should definitely be able to convey a message like this better to a child. You're the asshole for that. You don't have to name any of your children after your half-sister. But you could have been nicer about it. She will always remember that she's not good enough to have her name or version of it shared with your kids like her and your other siblings. You don't have to name your kid after anyone you don't want to. But you're still an asshole if your telling is accurate. You're the asshole.